Okay, this is issue 9 of Nightwing. This is part 2 of the Night of Owls, and we'll be starting with the highlights. One of the highlights we'll be talking about is Fate, William Cobb's relationship with Dick Grayson, and who Dick Grayson is in the Court of Owls, as well as his part in being part of the Bat family and him being a Nightwing. So we're going to start with William Cobb. William Cobb is the great-grandfather of Dick Grayson, and his life story is that he had an affair with Amelia Crown, and Amelia Crown is part of a very prominent family of the Crowns, and her father, Thomas Crown, does not approve of the relationship at all. And this is very important because this pretty much pushes William Cobb to become a Talon. Thomas Crown sits Cobb down, asks him, does he know how to play chess? And the whole thing about chess is that you have a white piece and a dark piece and a black piece. And William Cobb says he doesn't know how to play chess, so Crown schools him on playing how to play chess by pretty much saying that the white piece will always have the power because it goes first in playing chess. And he pretty much tells Cobb that he will never amount to anything because he doesn't have nobility behind his name, and the fact that he will never be with his daughter because he's not worth his daughter's hand. And that really depresses Cobb very quickly, very, very quickly. And, he tells him that Crown tells him that there is no middle ground, there is no gray in anything, there's just the black and white of reality, of life itself, and that really depresses Cobb. So Amelia, Cobb's lover/girlfriend, marries her second cousin, gives birth to his son. This depresses him so much that, he's at Haley's circus and he's very desperate for something, for change. And the owner, Haley, asks him, do you want to change? It's like, do you want to be part of something that's going to be fabulous and great? And Cobb, of course, says, yeah, I want to be. So he joins the Court of Owls and he becomes the greatest Talon based on his skills and his efforts to liberate Gotham and to change how Gotham City is, portrayed. So he realizes that he's going to be retiring soon, in which he's going to be frozen and go to sleep for a bit. And he realizes that he wants his own bloodline to be involved with the Court of Owls. And so he kidnaps his son from the Crown family and gives it to Haley and changes his son's last name from Crown to Grayson. And the whole point of the last name of Grayson, which I love, is the fact that the word gray comes from the fact that there's gray in life. There's not just black and white. There's not always that. There's some hint of gray in the world where things don't make sense to people, but it happens and we accept it. And for Cobb, that is part of what he does as a Talon. He goes out, he fights people, he changes society, he takes away life, he gives life. As a Talon, that's what the Court of Owls are. They're part of a society where they can change Gotham, make or break Gotham. They give the rise to Gotham, they give the decline of Gotham. They're the ones who control everything. And people of Gotham accept this because it's part of what Gotham needs to change when they need it to change. So, he changes his son's last name to Grayson and gives the boy to Haley, in which the whole Grayson thing about Haley's circus is no longer a mystery why it became that way. And I love that part, I do. So we're going to go into how Nightwing and the Talon William Cobb fight each other. So Nightwing goes in to save Mayor Haiti, which is from issue 8, and William Cobb comes to not murder the mayor, but instead comes after for Nightwing because he feels that, Dick Grayson is part of his blood and lineage, that he should be a Talon, and he feels betrayed by that, and he feels very upset. And he tells him, you're a betrayer, you let my sacrifices go to crap. And Dick doesn't listen, of course, because he has to fight him. So he runs across and he pushes William Cobb through a window, and William Cobb is a Talon, pushes him through a window. I like to talk about how, the graphics, the design of the whole glass shattering was so cool, and Dick Grayson and William Cobb are free falling. I love how, very important impressive that is to have all these detailed art all around. So I'm very impressed by the glass shattering and both of them free falling. And William Cobb continues to hassle Dick, like, you have to impress me, show me what you're made of, because that's his great grandson, and you always want to see your children, if anything, your blood, be victorious. And the fact of the matter is that Dick Grayson, instead of becoming a Talon, became Nightwing, part of the Bat family, and that pisses Cobb off the most. So Cobb really wants Dick to really say, yeah, I want to be a Talon, but that would never happen. So they're fighting each other, and in the end, Dick gets a dagger in his shoulder, and he falls down into the subway, and William Cobb drags him down there and tells him, I've sacrificed everything for you just to be a mess up. And Dick listens to this, and he tells him, he's like, what you don't understand is that Gotham changes on its own, with or without you. And he tells him that the reason why he fell near the subway is so that he could freeze him from the liquid nitrogen that's in the pipes above the subway. And he freezes Cobb, and he tells him that no matter what, destiny doesn't tell you who you should be. It's you who defines you. Destiny doesn't define who you are, but is rather you define yourself. And William Cobb is then frozen, and Dick kind of leaves after that. So it was a really great issue. Really awesome, really cool. I love the graphics. I'm not a huge fan, but I do appreciate it a whole lot. And there are moments where the whole great-grandfather thing, the whole thing about bloodlines and family is that you want to push for family, you want them to be the best and be part of something great. And the whole thing about Cobb is that he always wanted to be part of the higher elite, and he pushed his bloodline to be part of the high elite. But for Dick Grayson, he says that we've come to this point in our lives as individuals, as people, as children of whomever, we make our own paths. Do we want to be part of the elite? We can be. Do we want to be somewhere else? That's fine. You have to live up to your children. So that whole point was there. And the Core of the Owls, it really, I think that, it gives a whole great backstory to Dick Grayson. It's not coincidental that he was part of the Haley Circus or that his family was part of the Haley Circus. It gives him a great backstory, and I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. And it's great. I really do think that this issue is pretty decent and it's well portrayed. And it's been fun reading it and getting to know Dick Grayson, a whole lot of revelations for him as, Nightwing, as well as for him as being Dick Grayson. So all this in all, this was really fantastic. The graphics are nice, it's nice illustration. I'm not really a huge fan of the facial expressions. It seems a bit hard, but that's just my preference. But I love the details that they share, the details they portray in the issue. A whole lot of glass shattering, the smoke from the gas from the liquid nitrogen was also great too. So, and I love how they piece the elements together and have a consistent theme, such as fate, bloodlines between great-grandfather and great-grandson, and giving a great backstory to Dick Grayson. So, if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it possibly a 9.5 out of 10. That's just my rating. So if you have any comments, please put it below on the DK under the post, as well as you could put it on DKN Facebook as well, and the link will be provided down below. So tell me what you think of this issue of Nightwing. Do you think it's good? Do you like the graphics? Do you like how the elements come together, such as fate, the link between bloodlines, how Dick Grayson handles the whole situation? Do you like the whole issue, the whole theme behind it all, such as the Night Owls? Are you a fan of Night of the Owls? If not, you can still put that below. So it's a free-for-all. Comment, critique, whichever you like.